Hey guys, Rob Four here from Betway, and I'm joined by Magisk, who's a semi-finalist at the ESL Pro League Finals. So before we talk about the tournament, I want to ask you a few questions about your performance, because recently, well, since joining Astralis, you've just hit the ground running. So one, what's the secret?
I don't think there's any secret. I think it's hard work. I've been playing a lot with the team, and everyone has been putting in a lot of effort to play individually as well. And I think it's just a mix between playing a lot of individually and having a lot of confidence and motivation. I'm really motivated ever since I got into the team, especially because it's a big opportunity, and I just want to prove myself to the team and everyone else that this is where I belong, and I'm really good enough to be on the top. So I think it's a mix of all of that, yeah.
And when you joined from Optic, was it quite refreshing? Because obviously you were living in America or traveling a lot back and forth Europe from America. So how was motivation when you were playing in Optic? And it must have skyrocketed when you joined Astralis.
I mean, it was tough sometimes in Optic. It was a nice place, but just that travel between NA and EU was tough because you really didn't have time to be with your family or friends. And also, I was living in a different city in Denmark at that time, so I actually had to drive 3 hours when I came home from NA to see my family. Yeah, so it was really nice to get into Astralis and move back to my my home city and just be able to focus on playing and being with my family and friends when I'm home. So yeah.
Sure. It must be, nice change, like you say. And I think since joining Astralis, you've got a LAN rating of 1.19, which is really, really good. It's up there with Nico, Simple, and so on. Did you expect that to happen? Did you expect when you joined Astralis to just hit the ground running and play lights out, or you're maybe it's a bit of teething problems, but you just joined and you're killing everyone?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it to go into that, but it was in the beginning, from the first LAN tournament, I did okay, and I think I've just been improving from every tournament until now. So I'm happy for that, and I feel like it's a mix of myself just being that motivated and working hard, but also I think it's a bit easier to play good when you have a team that is so good individually themselves, team-wise and individually, and you just know if you have a really bad game, you can just focus on helping them because they will be able to win you the game or the best of three. So it's just that security that you know that if I play bad, my teammates can definitely take over and just win the game for me, and I can do the best for them to try and win. So yeah.
That's a really good mindset. But speaking of the team, you've played under a lot of in-game leaders like MSL, even Freiberg at Optic, strangely enough. But how does it compare playing with Glaive, a very experienced in-game leader, probably quite different to MSL? How do the two in-game leaders compare?
I mean, both like to be structured, but I just feel Glaive is better at least from the two others in-game leaders I've played with. He has a better understanding of the mid-round calling and to know which call is really good. It's he has a really good game mindset about how to outplay his opponents, and not only just individually but as a team, and I feel that's been making it easier for me as well, because I can do almost anything I want as long as it's there's an idea behind it, and it's not just gonna be me just rushing somewhere alone, but I'm gonna take one with me, and we're gonna make a plan together, and I'm gonna ask someone to help me out in try and get an opening kill or something like that. So I think it's all about no one on the team is never gonna do a solo play, just try and win the round by himself, but he's gonna have one behind him. So if he fails a frag, he can be traded, and I think that's a bit different, because sometimes in the other teams there was times where you could just do whatever you wanted and just push alone and try and win the round by yourself. But I don't think it's more that's not how we want to play on the team. It's always going to be team-minded and not just individual plays to try and win the game. Yeah.
Well, it seems to be going so well so far. Unfortunately, in Sydney, you didn't grab the win, but this tournament, you're looking pretty hot. So what have you learned from Sydney that you've taken into this tournament to help you guys, to go a step further and lift that trophy?
I mean, it's all about lifting your trophy, but I think we were not really disappointed after the day after Sydney, because even though FaZe they played the better final, they deserved to win the final, but we had that feeling that throughout the whole tournament we are the better team throughout the tournament. But as I said, that doesn't matter if you lose the final, right? But so we were not really that disappointed. Of course, losing a final is not what you really want to, right? But we know that we can win, and we know we can do it if we play our own game and if we play to our own level. And that's what we have had to focus on. Just keep playing our own game, keep where like the right path that we're doing right now, and just keep going that way. And just of course we watched our matches against FaZe and watched like some of the mistakes that we were doing in the final that we definitely have to work on. And I think that's been like our key for this tournament. Yeah.
So a lot of demo watching, and just if you come against FaZe again, which actually you mightn't you? It's SK or FaZe.
Yeah.
So just kind of a random question, but which one would you rather face? Would you like to get revenge on FaZe?
FaZe. I don't think we're gonna lose to them again.
Love the confidence. Okay, the CS scene at the moment is quite open. Why would you say it's quite open? FaZe are really good, like you said. You're performing really well. Even Na'Vi seem to be doing quite well. NIP occasionally, unfortunately not this tournament. But it's really, really open. Why do you reckon that is?
I mean, FaZe, they're playing really good, even though they have a stand-in. But they're definitely, I think they're gonna be like 5-10% better with Olaf in general. So they're gonna be an even scarier opponent in the future. But I just feel like SK, they have to find like the balance and the right way they want to play right now. I think it's tough for them just getting like suddenly talking like English instead of Portuguese. So yeah, they definitely have something to work on there as a team, and I think with time they're gonna come back and be scary again. Even now they're not an easy team to play against. So yeah, in the future it's gonna be even tougher. And I feel like Na'Vi, they're just Simple is just a beast. I mean, individually he's the best player in the world right now, no doubt about it. But yeah, it's really close, and I think this tournament is gonna figure out who really is the best team in the world.
And who, in your opinion, then? Because a few people are saying Astralis. Who, in your opinion, though, is the best team in the world? Would you say yourselves?
I think it's close between us and FaZe right now. In my opinion, I feel like we are the better team. But if they win this tournament and we don't, I think you have to say it's them then. But we're gonna figure out. I think we're gonna play them in the semifinals. So the winner of that match is probably gonna be considered as the best team in the world, in my opinion. I don't think any of us and them deserves to be told, like, to be said they are the best team in the world right now.
Cool. Well, if the rematch does happen, we can't wait to see it. And that's about it. So thank you very much for your time, dude. Cheers.
No problem.